All right. So the entire time we were setting up this audio, I was thinking like, how do I not get the TV volume to come through? Maybe I could like, because I'm watching, I have using my two computers, so I'm thinking to myself, maybe I could get another set of headphones and put them somewhere. And I'm like, I only have one set of ears. I was like, where am I going to put this other pair of headphones? I'm like,
A second set of headphones.
yeah, I was
Yeah,
like,
it's amazing how many devices we end up putting together these days trying to do stuff like this, trying to record things.
so as you can see, this is where Rambo ended up after the events of the first one.
Those drills are really impressive. They're like, what are they?
Our
Hydraulic powered
hero.
drills or air? I guess they're air powered drills, big pneumatic drills, I think. And
Yeah.
just for drilling cores into rocks, and you can like put big extensions on them, drill real deep. Wow, that's a big machine too.
Well, they're in
It's,
like a prison. So what are they just doing? Like a quarry? It's like a big quarry. They're just busting gravel, basically.
I wonder if they filmed this at that gigantic quarry in Utah, I think it is. Somewhere down there in the desert, they've got, I think, the largest quarry in the country, at least.
I don't know. I guess I don't know what quarry in Utah looks like. But anyway, this is the colonel
Yeah.
that
Trucks.
saved. That's Rambo's colonel from Vietnam. He look, it's hilarious
He
looking at
got
you
one
on the
last
screen.
job to offer
Yeah, he's got one last job to offer Rambo.
him.
Well, I can hear your movie audio coming through on your end.
Oh,
Rambo doesn't seem too excited to take this one last job, but I guess
no,
he's
he
got to
doesn't.
get out of the Utah rock jail, so anything's better than that. And you're fine, right? You're comfortable. You can see everything. Or is it too low? Like the volume too low for
No,
you?
no, yeah.
Look at that crazy mullet. I feel like
Call it to Rambo.
if I had hair, I'd have a Rambo mullet like that, but I don't.
Yeah, mullets like they're bold. I don't know.
They
It's hard to be bold these days. You really got to find a niche and get in it.
Well, I also felt like back in the '80s, if you're watching a movie and a guy's got a mullet, he's like a badass and a fit dude. Nowadays, people sort of brought the mullet and mustache combo back, but it's always like some weasel looking guy. It's never like a
Yeah,
shredded
but
guy like
that's what
Rambo.
people it works for. It doesn't work for actually grungy people. It only
No,
works for like I don't know, yuppie
just nasty
like
looking
uh,
people.
grungy posers basically, or like
Right,
hippies or something, right?
right.
It,
Just
it,
like, yeah,
it's like
hipsters.
it actually like it seems almost like young people who like go to music festivals is one of the places where the mustache seems popular.
Mm, yeah, sort of like post hipsters. People who they
Yeah.
dress, people who dress cool today, they dress kind of like in just thrifted '90s clothes and a Hawaiian shirt, and they've got a mullet. Yeah, I don't know.
Yeah. That paints a picture that's familiar.
All right. But like I'm saying, it's never a guy who looks like Kurt Russell from the '80s, or not a guy
Oh,
who
have
looks
you
like
ever
Rambo.
memes where like there's people in the 80s who were 30 years old and people today who are 30
Yeah,
years old and they used to look so much more rugged.
yeah, they look like
Maybe the
adults.
gas, the cigarettes, I'm not sure.
Maybe it is the cigarettes. Probably the testosterone in the cigarettes. Like, look at Sylvester Stallone here. I don't know how old he is, but you can just tell this drinking something, you know? Like, I don't know how old he is. Let me see. Let me look up how old he is in Rambo 2. 22 years old.
Yeah. He's 16.
Let's see. Oldest Stallone, Rambo 2. He's 39. Okay. So honestly,
Oh,
he's almost 40 here. He doesn't really look 40. So honestly,
yeah. Not doing too bad.
yeah, he's not doing too bad. I'm okay. So, oh, so this is 1986, I think. So the Vietnam War has been over for, well, like 13 years, right?
Sounds about right. That old Coke machine they
It's
had was pretty cool. It's a
John,
little older.
he goes, John Rambo, of Indian German descent, hell of a combination. Like Sylvester Stallone's Italian, but it's like badass to be Native American. It's like I'm this and part Native American. That's how you know he's badass in like in nature. He's just in tune with nature.
Yeah, he's got quite a mystique about him.
Yeah, he's got to go in and rescue those POWs, and of course the obligatory Coca-Cola product placement, but kind of works. Awesome old Coca-Cola machine.
Yeah, my dad had some old Coca-Cola machines and Pepsi machines in his tire store in Colorado, and
Mm,
I like old Coca-Cola stuff. I
yeah,
like that kind of Road 66, bunch of old gas station and Coca-Cola stuff all over the walls type of decor.
right. Me too. So just classic Americana.
Yeah.
You look behind him on the desk, there's just like a picture of Reagan tacked up. That's also Americano, just like pictures of old presidents. Well, I guess in this it's the current president.
And Rambo's not going to engage the enemy is the message here. He's just going to play it safe and
Like,
straight.
let's look at the picture of Reagan just behind them, just smiling on the chalkboard. Yeah, the whole point is Rambo's supposed to go in with a camera and take pictures of the POWs, but not engage. Of
Has he
course,
got
you
a
can.
Buddhist statue under President Reagan's picture?
Well, I think their base they're in now is in like Thailand,
Ah,
so they got to fly in to like yeah from Thailand
what
across
does
Laos into the
Ramen eat?
mountains of
Just
Vietnam.
clicks?
I don't know how much is that click a kilometer?
Oh, I don't know.
I don't know. It's some military jargon. I like that. People also berets are also a thing, just like mullets. They're never worn by guys who look like they like did some crazy McAfee song shit in Vietnam. It's always like women or old ladies. It's never like a
I
militant. You
like
know what I
I
mean?
like the one the guy on Little House on the Prairie's got.
Who wears a beret in that show?
What?
Who wears a beret in that show? Oh, the mullet. Oh, you're talking about
Yeah, the mullet.
what's the main actor's name? Michael.
Charles. What's the actor's name? I forget.
I don't know. Charles Ingalls.
Yeah.
Charles Ingalls. I just googled Charles Ingalls, American farmer, as if he Well, I mean, I guess he was a real person, right? He was just played by
Right, yeah.
played by Michael Landon, who also,
Yeah,
you're
Michael
right, he
Landon.
does have a
Good pull.
badass mullet.
Yeah, it looks good on that guy.
It does. I lived I lived near where he's buried in a Jewish cemetery in near Culver City.
Sounds good.
Colonel Troutman. It's just like cheesy. What he calls it. What you call hell, he calls home. Oh yeah, and they got the obligatory flexing. Yeah, I don't know. It's it's strange to see modern
Is the
movies
side?
where
I bet the sidekick's gonna die at the end,
maybe
like right at the climax. That's my call. I haven't seen this
okay,
before, but we'll see.
okay. I saw the newest movie that's really popular, Marty Supreme, about a Jewish ping pong player in 50s Brooklyn, played by Timothy Chalamet. And it was a great movie, and he's pretty great in it. All the actors are great, but he looks Sylvester Stallone and him are like the exact opposite human being. Timothy
Yeah.
Chalamet is just like a twink, thin and like rat-like, boyish, but Sylvester Stallone looks like he could eat him.
He said he was 39 in this, right?
Yeah, he's 39.
Dang.
Yeah, I hope I look that good when I'm 39. He doesn't. He look at him. He doesn't even spend all
Yeah.
his time in a jail busting rocks after the first movie where he murdered a town full of police officers and National Guard troops. Yeah. Did you see the whole ice guy shooting the lady in Minneapolis? And Tim Walz
Yeah.
gave this speech talking about like he's gonna send out the National Guard to like get rid of the ICE troops. It was really weird.
Who said that?
Tim Walz did.
Oh, okay.
He's
Yeah.
all
I don't
gung
know,
ho
man. I mean,
now.
well, certainly people are pretty uh adversarial. Like the media portrayals of ICE operations seem provoking of adversarial mindsets, and I don't know, like I think people are put off by the masks and the federal, foreign to the community federal nature of the enforcement, and obviously it's a very political issue, and geez, stuff like this is bound to happen with law enforcement apprehension scenarios, but
Right.
you know, obviously it's a pretty sensitive issue.
Well, I mean, it's probably used to be a normal thing. It just seems so strange because it's been so abnormal for so long. Like I,
Yeah, well, I never. Yeah, there was no like media. I really don't know what immigration arrests and behavior have looked like historically. We don't have kind of a catalog of footage of everything that's ever happened as far as like deportation arrests. And, it's always been nobody ever seems to be excited about um, immigration agents trying to deport them. But,
you
um, I mean, I remember that being, decades ago, still something that people didn't talk fondly of. It's just that you don't see video of what these arrests look like up until just recently, I guess. I don't know if the volume and aggression of them has changed. The masks are probably new, right? This is not really illegal anywhere technically, but it's just usual, unusual, I guess, in this fashion for most departments. But I don't know. Yeah, it's definitely coverage is very different now, so it's probably the big change.
Well, there are movies about soldiers and cops. There's no movie where Rambo is an ICE agent ju jumping out of an airplane over Minneapolis and like sneaking into a Somali community, coaxing them all into the back of a cargo van. They don't have any cool immigration enforcement movies to give it good PR.
Yeah, they always want to give give those missions in the movies to the CIA or FBI or some lone detective or uh, private eye or something like that.
Yeah,
Never immigration. They don't
oh
really
man,
have an immigration hero story movie.
no. But I did hear an interesting take of how things used to go, like in the 70s. It was a Reddit post about a guy whose brother was from South America, but he was like white looking and like blonde with blue eyes. And what they used to do was he said his brother was at a Kmart or his cousin, something like that. He was at a Kmart and the cops barricaded the entrance of the Kmart and made it a single file line. So everybody, it was like an immigration sweep of a random Kmart. And so all the people
Yeah.
had to come out of the store, and the guy's cousin got by because he was blue eyes and blonde hair. So the cop was just like, all right, keep going. But so that's, I don't know, that
Yeah.
sounds way scarier than an ICE agent because they're doing targeted pickups. They're not going to a Walmart and just saying, everybody out, we're gonna suss out who's illegal.
So wait, you're saying that this story about officers closing down a grocery store and filtering people out to find somebody
Yeah.
that was ICE?
Well, I think ICE was started in 2003. So whatever, I think it
Okay.
was just the police.
Right, okay.
So like the police just close down this Kmart and send in Rambo into the Kmart with his bandana and mullet to like,
You're coming. Hey,
you
you
illegal?
gotta get out of the tree.
Look at this fake ass snake.
Oh wow.
He's just hanging there.
He was like, did he break its neck or just
I don't
intimidate
know.
it?
I think he just freaked the snake out. This would suck. I would really hate to be in the jungle of any kind, especially surrounded by communist soldiers who hate you and are torturing American prisoners and really don't expect an American
Hmm,
guy to sneak up on them because they want to do bad things to you.
yes, that makes sense.
These awesome giant like Buddhist statues in the jungle. I mean, those are probably movie props, right? But they look awesome.
Did you ever read about those myths of giant ape men in
Yeah,
the Vietnamese jungles?
the rock apes.
Yeah.
Rambo, that's Rambo 7, Rambo versus the rock apes.
Maybe Rambo's story is based on the rock ape.
Yeah, American soldiers said that they would just hear howling in the jungles just like these, and they'd,
Maybe the
you
rock
know,
ape was a CIA asset.
maybe. Oh man, this lady is really funny because she is she's obviously a hot Asian lady that they cast, but she obviously also speaks English, so she's doing a fake bad Asian accent. We go to river. How come you so late? It's crazy.
Oh, so was she born in the United States?
I don't know who she is, but just listen to her. She sounds like an American person doing a bad Asian accent. You come long way, Rambo. Yeah, but the rock apes. That'd be freaky. I mean, those American soldiers were out there. They were doing heroin. They were smoking weed. They don't know what the fuck was going on. Doing acid out in the jungles of Vietnam while you're being shot at. I
Yeah,
mean,
I think
I don't
most
know
of
what.
those types of stories are just some kind of delusion or fantasy or, you know, hallucination.
Right. The pirates. I did see a video that was a newscast, like a broadcast from Vietnam, and they were interviewing soldiers. It was kind of crazy just to see all those guys out there who were just normal guys from America, but they were deep in the shit. And one of the guys was like just a Mexican guy from New York, and he was worried. He was saying stuff like, I'm going to be going home in a couple weeks, but when you're out here, sometimes you feel like they know you're going to go home, so they're gunning for you. And the look on his face was just like he's been in Vietnam too long and just wants to go home. I mean, what does a Mexican guy from New York know about the jungles of Southeast Asia? It might as well be hell.
Yeah, I read an autobiography about a guy who got drafted into the war, and it's just pretty grisly, the stories they tell. They're like saying
Yeah.
stuff like the old guys who have been there a while tell you to like bend your grenade pins so that the loops are closed. You like crush the loops because they get caught on sticks when you're walking through the jungle and blow
Oh
everybody up and you know your
no.
position. And it's like don't carry your bullet belt around your neck with the points pointing into your neck. You flip it over. Um, and bunch of tips, and then he gets into descriptions of just horrific battles and like
That's brutal.
you know guys doing stuff to women that they find and
Oh
it's
yeah.
just it was a bad time. Bunch of people using heroin and stuff.
Nice. Russian RPG. Yeah. It feels like we also have to remember all those guys, they were drafted. They had no choice. They had
Mm.
to go fight in the jungle.
Yeah, and the
I
guy
mean,
who was writing the book, he's just like, dang, I just they give you some training, they bust you in, and it's like there's a lot of tips that they just don't give you in training. You kind of have to learn on your feet as you're out there getting told shit from these guys who
right.
you know, they are only there for, they've only been there for 3 or 6 months or something too, or a year. And all they can do is just kind of throw tips at you from their own beleaguered frame of reference.
Yeah, and there's the Werner Herzog Vietnam movie with Christian Bale called Rescue Dawn, and he's like a fighter pilot who gets shot down and goes to a POW camp, like one in this movie. But the beginning of the movie is like a U.S. Army training film about like how to survive in the jungle, and they're like, make sure that you have your little poncho to protect from the rain, and your knife, and if you whittle the bamboo in this way, it'll make for like advice that totally means nothing when you're running through the jungle in the darkness and captured by communist soldiers and they're like torturing you in a cage. Like the training, like industrial training videos, they mean nothing at that point.
Yeah, I know. The stories are insane. It makes you just wonder what the experience of such horrors would even be like.
Just
How
bad.
close you've gotten to the threshold of awfulness that you really could be experiencing.
Yeah.
Just in
And if you
terms of raw psychological valence, you know.
and if you don't do it, they put you in jail or kill you. So you just got to do it.
Yeah.
I like this hot Asian lady. She's not a great actress, but she is hot. That counts. Her father was a
Yeah, she seems cool.
like her father was like working for the South Vietnamese and they killed him and she's like, I must continue this war now. Of course, she digs Rambo. She doesn't like the gross Vietnamese pirate boat captain who's trying to get her to drink some great alcohol. She likes Rambo.
Yeah, I want to see a shot of the other guy's facial expression right now.
He's just a drunk
He's like
Vietnamese
really
pirate.
vibing with Rambo. Rambo's playing it cool. The other guy just kind of avoiding eye contact, looking away.
He showed them the Russian RPG, and he's like, "Cool, right?" And they were like, "No, you're not cool. You're gross. You're a disgusting boat captain who you overcharged me for this dangerous journey." Well, I guess I don't know. She trusted the pirates. Dude, how could you
Looks like
not?
a fake boat. Looks like they used like house siding to build that.
I mean, it is a Vietnamese pirate boat.
All right. Yeah. Got
Oh,
a bunch of house trim on it.
like it. Or maybe you're saying that like the movie prop department made a fake boat, but in my mind, it's like, yeah,
Yeah.
this is
It might
probably the
be
same
material.
materials. Like Vietnamese pirates would probably also use like aluminum siding for their boat and
It's
some
like a one
some
by two,
shingles.
1x3 trim, 1x4 planks, and a bunch of like lap siding, board siding.
Like palm leaves. So yeah, use these
Is he gonna
palm leaves or something good.
meddle with the works? Another loose cannon with
Yeah, dude.
less moral alignment.
Yeah. You're just sitting around on that military base in Thailand drinking Coca-Cola all day, not doing shit. Wants Rambo to find these POWs sitting on his ass, lying about his service. He's like, yeah, Rambo's with the 2nd Battalion. And then Rambo's like, the 2nd Battalion, they weren't there. So that guy's just an asshole liar.
Glory hog.
Glory, yeah, he's just a glory hog. Doesn't know shit. Just a suit and tie, trying to working for the man. I guess Rambo is also working for the man, but he's somehow more badass because he's got a hot Asian chick and muscles and a mullet. So and a big
And to tell
knife.
the heroic story.
He's got a big knife with serrated edges. So that makes him cooler.
That's a knife.
Yeah, see that guy. Crocodile Dundee is also one of those classic '80s characters. He's just like a fucking ripped Australian guy who's like, these city people are ridiculous. They all retarded.
Yeah, put your drugs in the pot of water and make a healing tea.
Yeah, exactly. They found the POW camp, and turns out they just enjoy getting whores.
Spanked the basket.
I was just about to say that he spanked the basket instead of her ass. Go ahead, but I wonder where they filmed this. I wonder if they did film this in Asia. Let me look it up.
There's some pretty lush plants,
Yeah.
tropical looking.
No, they filmed it in Mexico.
Ah,
They filmed it primarily filmed in Mexico using the jungles and landscapes around Acapulco, Guerrero, and the mountains of Oaxaca and Chiapas to stand in for Vietnam. That's funny. So
all right.
Rambo's like invading Mexico to fight off these these evil Vietnamese communists that have invaded Mexico secretly, and Rambo's got to get in there.
Film crew stumbles upon a big weed farm, abruptly cuts.
Exactly. Well, I mean, that's like the Golden Triangle in Vietnam, right? Where all the heroin and drugs come from, like a Chinese triad. So, I mean, I bet in Vietnam, the access to heroin and stuff was so easy. So, it's more like Rambo would stumble upon like a opium den.
Right, in the movie he would. In reality, and he'd just get
Yeah,
like
yeah,
arrested by the cartels.
yeah. In reality, he just stumbles into like a Mexican cartel murder house full of weed,
Yeah, you
and
can like see from just one frame the cartel guy popping out of the woods to like
yeah,
hold them hostage, and then Sylvester Stallone is 2 weeks older in the next scene.
right behind Rambo, just a Mexican guy walks out and then walks back into the jungle, and they just forgot to edit that out. Oh man, I feel like you're also covered in bugs. Like in the movie Platoon, where it's another Vietnam movie where Charlie Sheen's like, a young guy, he gets drafted, and the beginning of the movie, he's like in the jungle with all the other soldiers, and he's just like covered in ants. And he's
Yeah.
like, "Oh God!" And he just opens his shirt, just covered in ants everywhere. I mean, those jungles have to be crawling with horrible giant bugs, and I don't mean the communist soldiers. I mean horrifying bugs Western people aren't even used to. Ants that crawl in your dick and bite you from the inside.
Yeah, there's some really crazy ecology in the Amazon rainforest. What do they got in Mexico? Are you talking about Mexico or Vietnam?
I'm talking about Vietnam, but I guess Mexico's the same thing, right? The
Yeah,
Amazon
yeah,
isn't the Amazon isn't in Mexico. That's South America.
right. No, it's in South America, Brazil mostly, but
Yeah, but Mexico does have jungles and stuff, right?
yeah. Look at this place.
Oh, yeah, of course. I forgot. I forgot. I forgot this isn't in Vietnam. And there he is, Rambo's all the
Oh,
POWs
his buddies.
are just they got Americans in a cage are covered in tarantulas and sweating and shaking. Damn, that had to suck. Covered in rats. And that was a big controversy about the Vietnam War. Supposedly, I was reading about it after watching this movie. So the war in Vietnam ends in like 73, 74, and the US is supposed to pay like a couple $1 billion in war restitutions to Vietnam. And they said,
Mm.
fuck that, we're not going to pay. And so
Hmm.
then the Vietnamese, they don't release the POWs they have. Like, who knows how many
Oh, no.
POWs they had, but they just kept them.
And that was it.
And that was it. And then,
Oh, a couple billion would have been nothing, man.
I know, right? Well, I guess in the 70s. Much of this
Still,
movie's Yeah, well, you'll see how the movie goes, but yeah, I know. Imagine you just left in Vietnam and for 10 years, the war
especially since
ends.
it basically means nothing now. They're just going to keep making as much money as they want. I don't know. Would have been a drop in the bucket today.
Right. I wonder what that conversion would be. But still, it's like, oh, they just left all those guys back there. And it was a sore spot for the US government because obviously that's what this movie's kind of about. They didn't want to admit that they left all these POWs there because that'd be a crazy bad look, you know? Oh, nice knife throw.
I wonder how this Venezuela situation's going to turn out. We didn't leave anybody behind in that quick operation, but we'll see what's to come. Now he's talking about, being pretty serious about trying to acquire Greenland. Wants to put a bid on it and
Mm.
open negotiations to buy it. Mentioned he doesn't take military force off the table. That's interesting. We'll see what we're about to get into here.
Yeah, I remember years ago there were stories about, obviously coups, maybe in Venezuela or in Colombia, and
Yeah.
these guys who supposedly were U.S. spies were arrested and executed or like thrown in jail, but of course they couldn't admit that they were U.S. spies. But it's like, damn, imagine that would really suck. You're trying to overthrow Colombia for the U.S. government, and they just have to leave you because you're a spy. It's what you signed up for. And if you get compromised, then you just gotta, no one's gonna come get you, I guess.
Seems like a tough life.
It seems like a bad life. Oh,
But Rambo's a maniac.
right, but exactly.
He's not
Rambo's
really. I mean, he's like broken already, so you can't break him more.
right. He'll shoot you in the head with an arrow,
Yeah, he's
and
really good with a bow. What kind
he's
of
good
bow
with a
is that?
bow. I don't know, like a compound bow. I like their safari hats.
Yeah, those are cool. I've always liked that style of
They
hat.
are cool. Yeah, like a big safari hat.
Yeah, it makes you feel like adventurous.
It does. Makes it fun. Oh God, it must be so hot though. But I guess it's to protect you, right? Like your skin and shit. And if, leeches don't get on you. Like look what they're crawling through. Just some like horrible, swampy. They're in like ankle deep in just random swampy jungle water.
Maybe it's, it might be because in the jungle, if you've got sun straight overhead, but a really dark, like, canopy that you need to search under, it may be better to just block out the sun so your eyes don't adjust to that and you see the dark canopy better.
Okay. And this guy looks like he's been fucking surviving off nothing but rats for 10 years.
Mhm.
Rambo's got to carry him. Oh, dude, and then they're just like these guys are knee deep in mud.
Yeah, what the fuck is
Like,
that sludge? That's really
yeah,
juicy stuff.
it's just juicy sludge covered in algae and
You probably could
swamp.
have walked around that sludge. Look at that clean river you're at now.
I know.
They just
Swamp
like found
creatures.
the sludgiest pool of crap in Mexico they could find, and they
Yeah,
were
they're
like,
like,
"Yeah, let's mix it up even more and throw some of these leaves on there."
it'll look really good if you walk through that sludge. So I guess this movie was written by James Cameron, the guy who made Avatar and like Terminator and everything.
And Titanic, right?
And Titanic, yeah, that's right. I've never seen Titanic.
Really? Yeah, it's
Yeah,
about a boat
only
that
bits and pieces.
sank. Uh, yeah, it's about a boat that sank in the 1920s or something like that.
Yes, Titanic. Are you familiar with it? The boat? Uh-oh. Oh shit. Damn.
Bastard.
You can't. You slap Rambo. Nothing's gonna
Just
happen.
yeah, it's like he blacks out for the slap.
Right.
Doesn't realize anything happened.
But you can't slap the hot Asian chick, otherwise you get the knives and then the
That's right.
shotgun.
He's a
Oh,
protector.
yeah, exactly.
And that action, he's pretty quick with that. How many shells? Oh, okay. Save the rocket launcher. Get the rocket launcher.
Yeah, you got to get that rocket launcher out of there. Oh, this guy's infinite ammo machine gun can't kill Rambo still. He's shooting every part of the boat except the part that Rambo's on.
He's going for it.
So
There it is.
the boat just like turns to sawdust as you shoot it with a machine gun.
They should be sinking pretty good by now.
Yeah. Oh,
Ah,
oh shit.
oh no. What kind of cordage is that?
Take that, Rambo. This is three. This is the 3/4 inch line. This is 3/4 inch double braid, Rambo. I got this at West Marine. This is what modern movies are missing: are RPGs and exploding boats that aren't CGI.
Yeah. What do you think they used for that? Gasoline or?
Probably. They just blew up a real boat. They're just like, shoot, take this RPG, shoot it at that boat. You don't even need to fake it. Yeah, it's just like, hey, blow that thing up with this RPG here.
Well, they cut it without the rocket. I think they didn't get to use a live RPG round. They did a
Yeah, they probably
tube in effect in the tube, and then they
right,
cut to a gasoline explosion or something like that on the boat.
right. I think it'd be their insurance would probably not allow them to shoot real RPGs.
Yeah,
They
well, I bet it's a weapons, like a some class of weapons permit that they didn't want to deal with trying to achieve.
but they did actually hire Vietnamese guys who were willing to die for like $500. You get on that boat, we're gonna blow it up with you on it, okay? And they're like, that's fine.
Wow, did they really?
Yeah, just kill. You see those Vietnamese? You see those Vietnamese actors? Yeah, just kill them. It's fine. They said it's okay.
Really? What?
See, Rambo's supposed to go in and take pictures, but since he's a badass with a heart of gold, he couldn't leave his fellow Americans behind in this godless jungle.
Yeah, that would be unconscionable.
Exactly.
Are those rice patties?
I think so. And this part doesn't make any sense. Why wouldn't they just be shooting Rambo and that guy? They're like 25 yards away. It said they're trying to like mortar them in this field.
Yeah, I don't know. Seems like a bad idea.
It's awesome looking, but doesn't make any sense.
Ruining this guy's crop. Like,
I
Jesus, this is
know.
really going to frustrate the farmer.
Yeah,
God, that's going to take some work to put back together, I bet.
probably.
Oh, a bunch of those are going to drain out and stuff.
He rescued one. Christ, he's found one.
Christ.
I wonder what it must feel like to just be on a fucking machine gun on a helicopter like that. Just
Oh, man, that must be insane.
it must be crazy. There must be no other feeling like it. It's the closest real life would ever come to a video game. That and like driving an F1 race car really fast.
You know, driving a motorcycle really fast,
Sure, yeah, yeah,
actually,
motorcycle.
there is this extra level of excitement that other things don't give me at this point that maybe that's akin to it. But yeah, I don't know. Riding a motorcycle fast is pretty exciting.
Yeah.
I can only imagine flying around in a helicopter shooting a giant
Yeah,
machine gun. Similar, but of larger magnitude,
right.
probably by a lot.
Yeah. Uh-oh. Damn, dude, this slimy bureaucrat.
Wonder if people are ever going to get Iron Man suits to fly around in.
Probably not. We'll become
Seems
sludge.
totally impractical for the human body. There's
It
just no
does.
way to engineer that to make sure to limit the G forces for every part of your body, right?
Right. That's a good point too. They make one and it's just full of vomit. It just always
Yeah,
becomes
or
full
it's
of
just kind
vomit.
of like liquefies your bone marrow in your like hands and feet as you spin around or something like that.
All they had to do was land, and they fucking left Rambo there. Now these guys are gonna liquefy Rambo's bones.
Oh no, he's got to surrender.
Damn. Yeah, the Iron Man suit probably not good. You always see like you read stuff about like the U.S. testing exoskeletons, right, for like their soldiers or something. I wonder.
That jetpack suit looks pretty cool. Looks dangerous as hell, but pretty
Yes,
cool.
right. They were
Don't know
doing
how
like
he's possibly gonna be.
Navy tests, right, where guys would just like fly with the water. Is that what it is? It's like the water cannon jetpacks, or was it just
No,
like an
no, the one
actual
that's
jetpack?
like, yeah, it's literal like tiny little jet engines, couple of them attached to each wrist, and then you've got like a couple of main ones on your back, and you just kind of orient yourself so in a tripod form with the, three forces pointing downward in
Mm.
a tripod format, and then you start flying around. Pretty cool.
Yeah, the like backpack jetpack, that doesn't seem like that's how that thing would work, right?
Hmm?
Just like the backpack jetpack, that's sort of science fiction-y. Turns out you need
Right.
like
You have to have
multiple
the wrist
directional
power to work
forces.
against it. Otherwise, you can't control your directionality too well.
Right. Oh, okay, so yeah, Colonel Troutman just said it. You're supposed to pay them 7.2 billion in war reparations. We didn't, and now they kept the POWs. Yeah. Yeah, for some reason, modern war movies don't have the same sort of like sentimental aspect and heroic valor and like the government screwed us, man. We're doing this for the troops. Instead, no, the war on terror kind of blows. It's not very cool. Not as cool as Vietnam. It's fighting
Well, like we've
communists, you at
talked about
least have
before,
the
we don't know what
moral.
we're getting as American citizens.
What?
Like we've talked about before, we don't know what we're getting out of much of what we do lately as American citizens.
This is what you're getting. You're going to get covered in leeches and put in a swamp by a bunch of communists.
How did they make that muck, you think?
Yeah, they just poured a bunch of diarrhea around him. Like, all right, Mr. Stallone, just hold your nose.
Put something in a blender, maybe?
Just a couple of mangoes and a couple of Hershey's bars in a blender, just poured into some
Yeah.
pond in Mexico.
Some kind of like, yeah, fruit puree, maybe some like, ew, like chocolate milk and regular milk swirled around him.
Pour some more Hershey
Ew.
syrup on
It looks horrible. It's so
them.
foamy.
Yeah. Uh-oh. The Russians are here. Even the North Vietnamese guys are like,
Yeah.
oh shit.
Communist leaders of the world.
He's dead now.
Mhm.
What a torture to just have you by the arms, dipping you in the leech chocolate water.
Ew. Leech chocolate. Think that's a real leech or
Hmm,
slug?
probably not. I just got Rambo with his ass cheeks out in the leech water.
Slop is that? Imagine he didn't really like that scene.
I find this Russian actor weird too. As the movie goes on, you realize he's like an English guy, but doing a Russian accent.
Oh,
At least that's what it sounds like to me. Like he doesn't sound like a Russian guy.
yeah, he didn't really.
I am Colonel Podolsky. There's nothing worse than being naked,
Just hit him
tortured by
with
Russians and Vietnamese people.
just bashed him in the bottom of his spine.
Yeah,
It's
just
hurts.
give him a good spine bashing. God. Hmm. I feel like it must have been the worst, some of the worst torture ever, right? In Vietnam, like the stuff people went through. I mean, what could have been worse? I mean, maybe
Stuff
like
they
antiquity.
do during World War II sound pretty bad.
Like what?
Well, they did all those medical experiments where they
Oh,
would
that's
look,
right.
inject everything into the prisoners to see what happens.
Right.
You know, cut them open and like pour different stuff in their wounds, or like I don't remember all the stuff they did, like see how long they can stay in a frozen lake.
Yeah, some of that stuff seems so crazy. I feel like it's made up, but at the same time, you got a bunch of prisoners, just like the Nazis or the Unit 731 in Japan, right? Where they just
Mm.
like cut you in half and sew you back together with a dog just to see what happens.
Yeah.
Like, did that really
They
happen?
did a whole bunch
I don't
of stuff.
know.
And I guess at least one of the doctors got pardoned for his crimes against humanity in exchange for the medical records that he kept of his processes and results.
Yeah, that was the Japanese guy. He ended up
Yep.
becoming like a doctor and like a lecturer and just touring around, colleges and stuff. But he was the guy who came up with this plan called Operation Cherry Blossoms at Night, where they were going to drop clay pots filled with fleas that like had some disease, and they were just going to drop them like on the west coast of America, like
Yeah.
Hawaii. They just that's kind of funny. Like biological warfare specialist.
A lot of things to think about when you're at war, I guess.
Like
What the
being
fuck kind of
tied up.
machine is this? This is like a
It's like a bed
spring,
frame.
a box, like a mattress spring frame.
Yeah,
He's getting zapped on.
yeah. They just
I don't see how he's completing the circuit though, because everything would just go through the mattress frame.
yeah, but he's like attached to it, right? Isn't that how that works?
Yeah, maybe they've got some electrodes on his pants or
Balls.
something.
They just hooked electrodes up to
Yeah,
his balls and just
yeah,
shocking
they've
him.
got to have like contact points across that whole, mattress thing, and then some electrodes on the front of his body somewhere, and
But
stick him in his pants.
isn't it all metal? Like if you're
Yeah,
touching
but metal's
metal,
got a much lower resistance than the body, so if it's completing a circuit through the mattress springs, then it's just going to go through the mattress springs and not his body. It may tingle a little bit as something flows through him, but he's got such high resistance compared to the springs. So
hmm,
you've got to see like two things connected to him that aren't also connected by other metal.
I think it just looks badass to see him
Yeah,
like
exactly.
he's like almost crucified on this rusty box spring, and Russians are shocking him with the car battery.
It just adds to his tragic heroic nature.
Exactly. And
You're
would
only
you
making him stronger.
would you scream if you're electrocuted? No, right? You just sort of like seize up.
Depends.
Ah! Your hair stands up and you flash and you just see a skeleton. Ah!
Yeah, you want to be careful about how you try to help somebody dislodge their hands from what they're getting shocked on. You use something non-conductive or tackle them very, very hard so you don't just stick together and both get shocked.
That's right. That's what I always heard. You got to tackle somebody.
Yeah, tackle or hit them with a big 2x4 or, depends on the situation.
What I always love about these movies where Russians are the bad guys is there's always a giant beefy Russian who you don't want to fight, who you're like, oh, Rambo's gonna have to fight this giant beefy guy.
Yeah.
It's never good. These sadistic communists. Amer-
Animals.
America would never torture people like this.
Is that one of the POWs he rescued?
Yeah,
Rambo's gonna save him.
yeah. I wonder if Americans did do stuff like this in Abu Ghraib. They definitely, right? They definitely shocked people and did crazy stuff to like Iraqi
Hmm.
prisoners, right?
Not sure about shocking people, but I'm sure they did stuff.
Well, did you ever? I mean, the most famous photo
I,
is the
oh, Iraqi prisoners, right? Okay.
yeah in Abu Ghraib. The most famous
Yeah.
picture is the guy with the he's got like a hooded mask and he's like standing like this on a box and he's I feel like he's hooked up to something, being shocked. Supposedly,
Yeah, I think I don't remember reading specifics, but there were reports of doing all kinds of stuff when we were
yeah.
before they banned torture of the, supposed terrorists. I heard at one point they chose a classic rock song to play over and over again 24/7 for like weeks or something like that to see what kind of psychological effects it would have on the prisoners in um, Guantanamo Bay, I think,
No, it
after
was
they took
probably
them back.
Abu Ghraib too. When I heard it was what was it? The legend was always like they played Enter Sandman for the terrorists, and they're like, "Oh my God, what is this devil music?" Da-na-na-na-na, da-na-na-na-na, and they're just going,
I wonder if they
"Allah,
experiment songs.
Allah, please save me." You know, if you think about it, you're like a Middle Eastern insurgent. The only music you're used to listening to is probably just like ding 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 ding, or like,
The only testimony I heard from one of the prisoners about the music thing was that he fell in love with the song and like just sort of he
oh,
started vibing with it and it became a source of hope for him is what he said.
interesting.
Yeah.
I've never in my life heard this music, but once I heard Metallica, I knew I'd be okay. I
The
learned
one
to
that
love Metallica.
the one that they were talking about in this interview was some different. It was like not metal. It was just classic rock. I don't remember what it was
REO Speedwagon. They just played like Queen. They just played Queen for him.
though. We're halfway
Oh shit.
there. Whoa.
Yeah, who's that? Bon Jovi. They just played Bon Jovi for the guy. Oh, nice. Rambo escaped with the help of the hot Asian chick. I like that Uzi she's got too with that big silencer.
Always gets out of a pinch.
I know. He's absolutely ripped, to be honest. He must be taking like steroids, right? It's a movie, so they gotta juice him up a little bit, I think.
Yeah, I think he was.
I want an AK-47. How badass would it
Um,
be to own an AK-47 and just like do that? You're in the backyard, just like just firing it.
I don't think you can over in your state. Yeah, this guy in
No.
Florida, it wasn't a rifle, but he just like he was schizophrenic to everyone's surprise, I guess, and just started shooting up the backyard, like into the neighbor's house and stuff. And just had an episode and finally broke. I was down in Florida.
But did you say it was a shotgun
No, he
or
was shooting his
something?
pistol.
Oh,
No, somebody.
pistol.
That's the funny thing is another crazy person, literally right across the street, got up on their roof and started blasting a shotgun like a week later or something like that, threatening everybody, and then tried to like rip his drywall down and climb into his walls and stuff.
Oh
Um,
my God.
he said there were people in his walls that were going to get him. So,
That makes sense.
yeah, a lot of schizophrenic activity on that street, and then. Um, oh boy, I don't remember what else. There was some third piece of gossip, but yeah, pretty wild stuff.
Hunted. There were Russians in his walls.
Yeah,
Russians in my walls, man.
there was a really like persnickety neighbor in that neighborhood too at first, but then everybody I wonder what they started to think after everybody went insane and started shooting up the neighborhood just in like psychotic breaks.
Well, that's
He
how you
might
keep
not be the neighbors about lawn stuff as much anymore, I think.
the that's how you keep the property value nice and low.
That's what
Go
Florida's good at.
pop off a couple rounds in the yard. It drops 20 grand after every
Keep
like
the rent down.
night.
Yeah,
Yeah, exactly. Keeps the rent down. That's
it
called
does probably.
that's called Florida rent control.
That's right.
Yeah, we're moving.
Oh shit.
Just why don't you guys slide down that hill? That'd be cool. How do you even? I wonder who his stunt double was. How do you even find a stunt double that looks anything like Sylvester Stallone in the 80s?
Hmm. I don't know. Gold's Gym had a bunch of buff dudes at the time, right?
I guess you put a mullet wig on him and give him like some
Yeah,
bronzer.
pretty much.
You see the stunt is just like a fat guy like running through the woods for like a brief second,
You
like
know, lots
diving.
of aspiring bodybuilders at the time still, I think.
No, I guess that's true. Yeah, it is really dumb to. I mean, I guess I don't know. You think people should be able to have automatic weapons?
Oof. Yeah, I guess.
That's awesome.
I mean, I've got
Uh,
this unpopular opinion that we just need to get a lot more comfortable with government spying. Not like it's not happening, so you get some benefits from it. Try to utilize some of the resources that already exist for law enforcement, and give people try to afford people freedoms. But I don't know. My opinion feels less confident these days because I used to hope for a lot of stability in your ability to rely on the government's discretion with how it's using the data that it collects on you. And now I don't know. Things seem to be moving so fast. Leadership seems to be so accelerationist that now I'm kind of like, okay, I don't know. Maybe we just need to keep our guard up about the data stuff more so and then in that case, yeah, I mean, I guess I'm still a proponent of letting people own rifles. I think you need to watch them. Make sure that people aren't doing crazy shit. Something there should be something. these days I'm less excited about government spying, I guess. I think that in the past I thought more like, hey, they're already doing it, but we're getting nothing out of it. You know, we're
Right.
paying for it and it doesn't help us. But I don't know. What do you think?
I mean, I don't know. I feel like most violence in America must be committed by handguns in inner cities. And with automatic
Hmm.
weapons, it's like the school shootings obviously look bad, but look how awesome Rambo looked shooting that AK-47. It can't be all bad. No, like I don't know, it's mostly
These
automatic.
These days we've got cameras all over the place. Like at Home Depot and Lowe's in my town, we've got camera systems that are like third party AI data collection and analysis. You know, like intelligence production software built into the camera systems that are set up at quite a lot of places across the country at this point. And I think that this kind of object and person recognition array spread across the country, it's a pretty valuable digital asset in a lot of ways that could be used to combat the school shooting thing. Bet you could find some of these types of things around schools in the near future if they're not already there, being used to kind of track activity like that.
I guess, I don't know. It always seems like the FBI already knows who these people are going to be. Sometimes, I don't think the school shootings are fake, but I don't know. There's always that crazy option that some of them are set up.
Yeah, well,
But
I think we have data that we don't take action on as far as like civilian policing that maybe we could process and do something better with with the the bureaucracy just doesn't kind of lead to productivity or preemptive action in some appropriate way. We need to change up the channels of intelligence and action somehow.
yeah, we probably already have all the info. It's more like the intelligence agencies are they're not trying to defend America. They're trying to defend their own jobs and the institution.
Right.
Like they know who gangsters are. They know who these people are, but they don't go
Yeah.
after them because they want to use them to get bigger gangsters or whatever sort of strange runaround law enforcement does.
Yeah, I'm not sure what that's
Uh,
about.
I don't know. Automatic weapons are so awesome. It's just,
Oh yeah,
I
well,
don't
fully
know.
automatic
They're
just
just
isn't
awesome.
legal in any state, as far as I understand, for like a regular civilian, um, weapons license.
Well,
Uh,
I was reading about it, and I guess you need like a federal firearms permit, but maybe you can get an automatic that way. But other than that, you can get an automatic. It just has to have been made before 1986,
hmm,
which I don't know why 1986. I guess that's just when they put the law into place. Well, like, technically, you could buy any of the machine guns you see in this movie legally. I think you just have to it's going to be expensive. They're going to charge you a
interesting.
ton of money to get like this AK-47 from Rambo 2. It also comes with a complimentary hot Asian girl, but it's that it's sort of she's sort of built into the price. Oh, right with the arrow in the chest.
I haven't really ever looked at the price of historic guns.
I feel like they're expensive. I don't know. I didn't look. I just saw a video.
Oh no, the Evil Dead.
He's not screaming. He's just like letting Rambo drag him into the
Yeah, he's like, as if he was being like choked or had somebody's hand
earth.
over his mouth.
He's just so surprised.
Yeah.
All these Russian guys have like piercing blue eyes too. Oh shit. Yeah, the amount of people with, I feel like so many people would own automatic guns, and I mean they do compile lists of people, like law enforcement, ATF. They you know who has these guns. You can't just
Yeah,
get a
like I had to
gun
like
without it.
register it or
Right.
something like that. There was a process where they had to do a background check, and there's a waiting period and a registration thing, application for the license, of course. So yeah, I don't know.
And
Um,
what's weird? I think with rifles, like long rifles, you have to pay like a tax and stamps or whatever for the gun, but then specifically for the receiver, which I guess is the main component of the gun that like
the
makes
big
things
body
fire.
parts on top.
Yeah. So like not only are they tracking if you have a gun, you're also tracking like the specific receiver. I think that's what it's called.
Mm.
Chicken. I don't know. It's sort of it's a bog standard '80s movie, but a little bit worse, right? What do you think so far? We're basically
Well,
almost
it's
done.
very like it's very much just completely centered around Rambo's badassery. It's just like,
Right? Yeah.
eh, I'm just in this prison now. I've been chilling. And they're like, I got one last job for you, Rambo. And he's like, I don't know, what's the job? And they're like, you gotta go get your buddies out of the jungle. It's like,
Yeah.
oh hell yeah. And then
There's
it's
no
just like
character
bum bum
development.
bum. It's just Rambo being a badass, and they're like, haha, we got you, Rambo. And
Yeah.
he's like, yeah, now,
There's no character
and
development.
it is what it is. It's just all about the action.
Right. I don't know
It's
if you
got
were
silly
paying.
accents.
I don't know if you were paying attention to the part where the hot Asian girl died, but
Oh shit, she died. They
yeah, I
shot
think
her.
they shot. I think we were talking.
Oh,
They,
I think I saw it. I just didn't think about it.
she she's like, "What are you going to do now, Rambo?" He's like, "I think go back to America." And she goes, "And you're gonna take me with you?" And he's like, "Yeah, I guess." And then immediately after she gets killed,
Oh,
so Rambo's free. He doesn't have to take her to America, which I think,
that's all over.
mm,
Oh shit, he got them.
well, yeah, lured them into the rice paddies with the dry rice crops and just lit it all on fire.
Damn, what kind of arrowheads are those?
Just explosive arrows for some reason. Nice. It's just a great explosion.
It's just like impossibly huge explosions coming
Yeah,
from that arrow.
I know.
Some kind of alien arrowhead.
Mini nuke arrow.
Looks like corn, doesn't it? Or sugar cane, I guess, right?
I guess some sort of crop.
I think it's sugar cane.
All right. If it is
Whoa,
Mexico,
beautiful waterfall.
that is a cool waterfall.
Oh shit, he's right in the open though.
No, that guy he didn't aim. He's just hip firing a machine gun.
Yeah, he really should have aimed down the iron sights. Now he's shooting his revolver. Is that what that is? No, that's not a revolver. What kind of
No,
gun
it's
is
a
that?
normal handgun, I guess.
Just an old pistol.
Yeah,
Must be a Russian gun if they're trying to be accurate, right? The Vietnamese were supplied with Russian weapons, weren't they?
I guess so. Yeah.
Got him right in the chest.
He just exploded. Just got meat going
It's
everywhere.
smug Russians. Oh, they got a big bomb.
Yeah, that's sort of funny, right? They're just like,
Gonna nuke
"Arr,
Rambo.
arr." That's the only way they can kill him. Like, get the nuke.
You just cut to the Tsar Bomba test.
Yeah, yeah, just the stock footage of the Zarbomba. Yeah, I think a lot of the intelligence gathering and data collecting for normal Americans, nobody really likes it or wants it. But I guess it's undeniable to some degree that it is going to happen, whether you like it, whether you want it or not. But I don't
Doesn't
know.
seem
You'll
easily
never.
it seems inevitable.
Yeah, it's inevitable. But everybody just I don't know. Nobody, I don't think anybody feels that confident the U.S. will use the information for anything good because the shootings keep happening.
Yeah,
So
I
if
mean
they
it's
can
a
stop the
security issue.
shootings,
This what one at the level of intelligence production from big data analysis that we're at, it starts to be a security issue to not start doing as much of it as possible. What I figure, and like I don't know
yeah,
if
but then
because
you'd
you're
never stop anything. Like like I don't know.
well, it's more about China than it is about the domestic population's problems, I think.
I think it's more about controlling the domestic population than it is about China because it's
Well, I
not
think
like
it's
they.
about like having a source of data analysis and intelligence production, particularly around your home base of assets, and about, being able to use more known information about your local communities and economy and neighborhoods so that you can interpret similar information in less confirmable environments, the way that China is doing the same. And that's where I think you just end up with security vulnerabilities not being able to keep up with big data intelligence production. Uh,
Right.
and you gotta suck data out of the American people so that you can do the best data collection and analysis you can to keep up, I think. And that's, doesn't really have much to do with American people's lives other than making sure that our national intelligence agencies and military is as strong as it can be, I suppose, for
You
whatever
know,
that's worth.
at the end of the day, that's what this movie is sort of about the opposite. It's about like a single man. He's flying this helicopter, blowing shit up with missiles. It's like the exact opposite of a normal person's life inside a data mining security state, where a human
Mm.
being almost has no agency and their life feels like there's nothing you could do against the behemoth of the federal government. And Rambo's just like flying a helicopter blowing people up. He wrestled that Russian guy and threw him out of
Yeah.
the helicopter. It's like the wish fulfillment of the average American almost.
Yeah, his righteous fury can be perfectly satisfied with his, you know, this.
Yeah,
Rah!
exactly. And it's like they can only collect so much data on you when you have a helicopter with missiles and Gatling guns.
Oh, but the data analysis can get so much deeper from here. We're only
Right,
at the level of tracking sparse activities, interactions, speech, um, and like digital uh, behavior and attention to digital content behavior. But we can get deeper about intentions and plans analysis and stuff like that. And that's going to follow, throughout the rest of this year when ChatGPT gets much better at profiling you in that way. That kind of analysis will be sold to other apps and probably a part of Palantir's type of analysis. And I don't know, since like those cameras I was talking about being at Home Depot and Lowe's here, apparently anybody can buy the intelligence generated from those feeds and use the feeds for their own intelligence production.
right.
Um, so it's like if I become a client of that same service, I can just buy those feeds at Home Depot or something is apparently one of the concerns with it.
Hmm. I'm
Like
just
tracks people's license plates. So people are like, oh, other people can track when
whoa.
I'm at the hardware store.
Whoa, it's kind of creepy.
Yeah.
I'm always interested in those stories of, 'cause the government says, "Oh, we stopped these guys," but then it turns out to be more complex, like the Michigan governor kidnapping, where it was like a bunch of neo Nazis trying to kidnap the governor of Michigan, but like most of the guys in the group of kidnappers were feds, and like a couple of the guys were like actually were not feds. So it's strange at the lengths they go to like they use intelligence to sort of go so far as to set up fake groups and spur people on to commit crimes so they can catch them in the act. Like it's not even the people don't even do it themselves, like feds set it up and then trap you. Strange to think about, like
That's
using
interesting.
intelligence in that way.
Not that they go along with stuff that the other people they're watching are doing. They're just setting things up.
Yeah, like they have the information on people, they make profiles, they're extremists, militia type guys, and then they sort of like set up things to incriminate them. It almost feels like January 6th was something along those lines at some point with those cops letting people in. It's like they wanted people to be caught up in the moment so they could arrest them because nothing was actually going to happen. Although it seemed really bad. I don't know if that's even true, but I don't know. It seems like one of those things.
Every one of those missiles is missing.
I know this. Yeah, this giant Russian gunship. That's also what in these '80s movies. It's always like a Russian gunship. Do
I
Americans
think
have
it helps to dodge
gunships?
the missiles if you're flying this low. I think that's a good strategy.
Right. You never see American gunships. I don't even know
Hmm.
what a gunship is. It's just like a really beefy helicopter with like wings that shoot missiles and shit. Like, look at that thing. It's awesome. But
Got a lot of
versus like
rockets.
an American Sikorsky, a humble helicopter.
Oh, crap, he's really nailing them now.
Yeah. I think this is my favorite part of the movie. I think if you isolate
Mhm.
this like fucking helicopter chase, it's pretty awesome.
Mhm. Somebody should get AI to extend this helicopter chase scene like another hour.
Yeah, they're just flying all around Vietnam, just in circles, just shooting at each other from helicopters.
But I want the tension to constantly rise towards a climax that never comes.
Yeah, I mean, this is what entertainment like this is supposed to do. It's supposed to make you think you're not living in a data gathered police state and give you the illusion that you do have your destiny in your own hands, and not that you're being monitored and watched for your benefit or not for your benefit. Either one doesn't matter. It's still happening to you. And you're just
Yeah,
like,
the illusion of like more freedom, more privacy, and less change going into the future was so nice. It seems like all of that is broken for most people, at least in the
yeah,
West these days. It's just really rapid
oh,
change and accelerationist kind of automation. Man, that was a quick move.
I know what a
He's always
strange,
popping out with a rocket launcher at the
yeah,
last second.
yeah. That's the illusion of freedom and the illusion of having a rocket launcher always at your disposal. That's something the modern world they want you to believe. They want you to wholesale believe in the illusion. But he
Would you
did.
rather always have a rocket launcher within a few feet of you or just not?
I mean, obviously, always the rocket launcher. You always want to have one, just in case.
Yeah. Would your mom mind?
If just in case Russian gunships attack, you get a. I mean,
I think all my roommates would be uncomfortable with my rocket launcher.
American.
I'd be like pl playing with the kid and like trying to keep him off the rocket launcher all the time.
No, this end forward.
Dude, what are you
American
doing?
American states don't want you to have machine guns. Imagine how they feel about rocket launchers.
Yeah, they don't like that, I don't think.
You think rocket launchers are covered under the Second Amendment? Explosive ordnance?
Hmm.
What if it's 1776 and they're just the founding fathers sitting around and they're like, should a normal person be able to own a cannon? And they're like, yeah, fuck yeah. Fuck yeah.
It seems pretty cool.
It'd be funny if they were like, no, you absolutely not. It says right here, right to bear arms. Does that mean I can own this cannon? No. Oh, what? This country's it was over before it even started.
I wonder what kind
Freedom
of
never
license I
even
could get
started.
to own a cannon.
I don't know. Or a bazooka. You probably can't even like legally own a bazooka, can you?
I'm not sure.
What
It looked
what
like
about
they fired one on The Office. And actually, I think YouTubers have fired them too. There's got to be a way.
yeah, that's what I've always been I was watch YouTubers shoot automatic guns and I'm thinking, how do they get these? They must just live in a
You
cool
got to
state
go through
and
some licensing procedure, I think.
yeah. See, this is part of the illusion. You can fly an attack helicopter and you can have a bazooka and you can rescue all your fellow Americans that are trapped in the communist hellhole in Vietnam. But it's just part of the illusion. Really, all you have is your family and your career and, the things you can control in a very small radius of your life. Never like, no, nobody's Rambo.
Yeah, and life's a lot shorter
Life's a
than
lot
it
shorter,
seems on
yeah.
the one hand. It's long on the one on from one perspective too, but yeah, I don't know. You don't have time to change the world. Most people, some
Right.
people are in the right place, doing the right things, but a lot of us need to focus on the things that we really can be responsible for, I guess.
This is the ultimate fantasy is you're ripped and you're single arming an M60 machine gun. You're not even aiming, you're just blowing apart the office of some bureaucrat who has no respect
Mm.
for American soldiers.
Those are some cool computers, man.
He just no computers are gay. That's why he blew them all up with his machine gun. Computers?
Oh, this guy seems like a traitor.
I mean, he did leave Rambo there. Rambo just like takes out an ice cold Coca-Cola and drinks it and just like holds it up to the screen and then puts it down.
Continues the scene.
Yeah, yeah. You know what I like after a long day of living in the jungle? An ice cold Coca-Cola.
I love Coke.
I love Coca-Cola.
Ooh, old fire trucks.
Yeah, those are cool. Those are fun.
Damn, how do you think they're making that black smoke? Burning a tire or something there?
Probably. Oh my God, that's yeah. Just light a hell, just light a real helicopter on fire.
Yeah.
Put a couple tires inside.
How many POWs did he save?
I don't know, like 10, something like that.
Nice.
Unabashedly pro anti-American government, pro-American soldier. You should give it to them.
What do you think of his little headband?
Again, it's one of those things that it's just it's the part of the illusion of freedom.
Yeah.
You're just badass. You have a fucking headband. You're got a machine gun and a hot Asian chick. Nobody's spying on me. And if they did, I could like sneak up on them and strangle them, no matter who it is.
Yeah, I want to be just like Rambo.
Exactly. Great.
Yeah, I think this scene wasn't as well written as the uh, scene at the end of the first one.
No, it's way cheesier.
It was
It's way
fancy.
worse. I want our country to love us as much as we love it.
Yeah,
And then Rambo with his ripped
not quite
muscles
as
just
moving.
no. Rambo with his ripped muscles just walks off into Thailand or something.
All right. Okay, so he's a big badass. It's a very got a very shallow, like government critical message,
Yeah.
sort of trying to co-op critics into like a shallow message of critiquing the government. It's like, I want the government to love us. And it doesn't really comment on any real problems or actions or suggestions, you know? Maybe it's kind
We,
of like
it's not for the
maybe
critics.
it's like trying to change the message of the first movie to something a little bit more government friendly while still trying to capture the uh, protesting crowd.
I mean, I guess it's even though it's cheesier and worse than the first one, I guess it's the same message. You know, individual man against the world. Only he can get it done. The government sucks balls. Therefore, you just have to, put on the headband yourself and get it done. I don't know. All right, well, I guess
Yeah, so let's see what
those are
else
the
to
credits.
say.
You got this cheesy '80s music.
Do you think this movie says anything really? Do you think it's got a moral to the story?
I think it's I think it's got a pretty clear moral. It's just sort of a cheesy, dumb movie, but it's be a badass individual. The U.S. government sucks ass. Leave you in Vietnam and then try to they send in Rambo to find you, and they also leave Rambo there. I don't know. It's like a I don't know Cold War movie where the propaganda is. I mean, that's what's so great about American propaganda is it's propaganda that serves the establishment, yet the propaganda is about how the establishment sucks. Isn't that funny?
Yeah. Yeah,
It's like the American,
it's a good.
like the movies, like the American government, it sucks. That's why you should love America.
Mhm.
It's it's weird, but it works
Yeah,
somehow.
you sort of detach the government from the people, and you love the people and communities and spirit, and like
Right.
you love Rambo. That's the America you love is Rambo, not the America that Rambo criticizes.
Exactly.
Just sort of
The
like
exactly.
separating it in your mind.
Exactly. The America you love is that big machine gun, not the
Yeah.
government. The America you love is the bazooka that Rambo uses to blow the
Mhm.
helicopter, the gunship out of this guy.